Alright, we've made it, everyone, to the final Attack on Titan Apocalypse Day 0 build. And that, of course, is Zeke Yeager, War Chief, a 6 hand size, 29 health character, Titan Warrior with the Chaos and Life symbols. Let's just get right down into it. Zeke has 2 enhanced abilities. The first is once per turn, your next check gets plus X. X equals the number of backups in your stage, plus 1. So, even if you have no backups, this is still plus 1 to your next check both on offense and defense, which is pretty good. And then we have Enhance, sacrifice 1 backup, gain 1 health, and draw 1 card. If there are at least 10 backups in your stage and discard pile combined, you may transform Zeke Yeager War Chief into Beast Titan Finale, who also has the Titan and Warrior traits. And as a static, if you have 2 or more backups in your stage, your checks to play ranged and or Titan attacks get plus 2. Oh, not just attacks, cards. So that also includes if you play Titan backups, if you play Titan foundations. That could also work. So just as a pure static, getting plus 2 to your checks to play your best cards that you built your deck around is really, really strong. And then Enhance, commit 1 backup, gain 1 health, and draw 1 card. So Zeke obviously wants to populate himself with backups, obviously, and he can definitely do it. But I do like that the transformation does allow you to have the backups in your discard pile as well, because building 10 backups is ridiculous, especially when your rival's allowed to just attack them. So let's see what attacks we have access to here. We're going to start with Beast Titan attacks / the Beast Titan. It's a 7/4, 6 mid for 8 with a 1 high block, Shift, Range, and Titan. Shift being a static ability that says at the end of your turn, when you clear this card from your card pool, if you played it this turn, you may build it transformed, and it transforms into a backup. And it has a Blitz, sacrifice 1 asset or backup. This attack gains throw. So that's pretty good. That means even if it is completely blocked, it will still deal at least half damage rounded up. And then it transforms into the Beast Titan, a 7 stamina backup that says form, commit, lose 3 stamina, add 1 ranged attack from your discard pile to your hand. So what's really cool is you can have a Beast Titan, commit it and lose 3 stamina, pick up a Beast Titan attacks, play it, and then sacrifice the Beast Titan to give it throw, and then build it down as a Beast Titan, and you can just cycle these 2 attacks every one of your turn cycles that you get the chance, which is really cool. And then Enhance, lose 1 stamina, this ranged or Titan attack gets plus 2 damage. So just a bit of damage buff to obviously the types of attacks we want to be playing. We have Beast Titan's Rock Barrage, a 5/3, 3 mid for 5 with a 2 mid block, ranged and Titan. It has 3 Blitz abilities. The first is build 1 non-unique backup from your discard pile. So, yeah, that's going to be like our Titan backups. Blitz, if you have 2 or more backups in your stage, your rival commits 2 foundations. So an automatic stun 2, basically. And then Blitz, if you have 4 or more backups in your stage, commit 1 rival foundation. So you selectively commit. So not only can this build a backup, but then if you have, 4 or more backups total after you built that one, you can selectively commit their best piece and force them to commit 2 more, which is really, really strong. And it's arranged, so you can pick it up with Beast Titan attacks, / the Beast Titan. We have Jaw Titan attacks, a 6/4, 6 low for 6 with a 1 low block, Shift and Titan. Blitz, gain 2 health. That really works with our gain health ability. And another cool thing is Zeke is one of those characters that can transform on your rival's turn as well. If you just sacrifice one of these shifted attacks just to transform, that's perfectly something you're capable of doing. And then you get access to commit a backup, gain a health, and draw a card, as opposed to sacrifice a backup. And then if you try to block with your Titan or ranged cards, you get plus 2 to the checks to block with them as well. So it's really useful to play these shifting attacks. And as the shifted Jaw Titan backup, you have 6 stamina, the unique and Titan keywords. As an enhanced commit, lose 2 stamina. This attack gets plus 2 speed. just some good speed boost there. And then response Tenacious, or playable while committed, lose 3 stamina. After your rival plays an ability that increases their health, cancel it. They cannot gain health this turn. Excuse me. So this was a really solid counter to characters like Recovery Girl. It is a hard counter to characters like Ymir or Devon Attendi, or even other Zeke Yeagers. Just to say, hey, I'm going to cancel that ability that's going to gain you health, and you're not going to be able to use any abilities to gain health for the rest of the turn. That effectively means Zeke Yeager cannot transform as long as you have access to the Jaw Titan backup, because you cancel that ability of the gain health and draw a card, and since it cancels the whole ability, you don't get to transform, which is really cool. We have Smiling Titan attacks, a 7/4, 6 high for 6 with a 1 high block, shift, and Titan. As a blitz, your rival spends 1 momentum, kind of just disrupting their resources there. As a backup, it is a 6 stamina backup, and the form commit lose 1 stamina. Your rival's first attack this turn must attack this backup if possible. So that's really good because it allows it to actively act as a shield to protect you so that you can keep gaining health, you can just survive a little bit longer, whatever it takes. We have Shocking Ambush, a 4/3, 3 mid for 5 with a 2 mid block, EX2 and Titan. EX2 being an enhance that says spend 1 or more momentum. This attack is +2 speed for each momentum spent to pay the cost of this ability. And as a blitz, if you have 1 or more backups, draw 1 card. Who's going to say no to more card draw? We have Anti-Ship Rock Barrage, a 7/4, 5 high for 8 with a 1 low block, ranged and Titan. Blitz, after you play this attack, your rival commits 1 face-up foundation. So they can't get away with just stunning their face downs, they have to commit a ready face-up foundation. They are losing access to that resource unless it has a tenacious ability. We have Unyielding Destruction, a 5/3, 2 mid for 6 with a 2 mid block and the Titan keyword. Blitz, each player chooses 4 of their own foundations and sacrifices the rest. So you and your rival will each be left with 4 foundations, but if you've transformed, you're getting +2 to all your checks to play your attacks anyway, and your rival's not. So that can be very useful. And it sacrifices foundations, so your backups stick around. And then we have Instant Shining Flash, a 4/3, 4 high for 4 with a 1 low block, charge, ranged, and weapon. So this is our only non-Titan attack, I believe. I believe everything else has Titan, but it still works with our ranged keyword abilities. We have Enhance, flip 1 foundation. The next card you try to play this turn gets -1 difficulty. And then Response, after you play this card, your rival spends 1 momentum. Again, a little bit more momentum hate to try to keep our rival in check. Onto our non-attack cards, we have our asset Idenbox, a 2/5 with a 2 low block and the unique keyword. Unique, of course, meaning you can only have 1 copy of this card in your stage at a time. Enhance, commit, return this attack to its printed speed and damage, return it to its printed zone. If it was unblockable, it is no longer unblockable. So you just return everything back to factory neutral, and you can deal with it from there. For actions, we have Filled with Doubt, a 2/5, 2 mid block. Response, after your rival plays an attack, seal it. Sealing, of course, means the attack loses all of its abilities and cannot gain abilities. So you don't have to worry about some of the most powerful abilities that your rival can throw at you as long as you have a Filled with Doubt in your hand. And next, possibly one of the most important card types, we have our backups. We start with Onyakopan, a 2/5, 1 low block, 4 stamina backup, unique and ally. First Enhance, commit, choose 1 card in your card pool. It does not count towards progressive difficulty this turn. You cannot play abilities on cards named Onyakopan this turn. So this really works especially with our check boosting ability, because a lot of our attacks do have a higher difficulty curve, so being able to ignore progressive while getting a check boost is really good. We have the 9 Titans from Throughout the Ages, a 4/5, 3 mid block, 6 stamina, Titan backup. First Enhance, commit, lose 3 stamina. Double this Titan attack's speed, or damage. So we could make Rock Barrage a 10 high for 8 or a 5 high for 16. Especially if we're making sure that our rival's stage has been committed down by cards like Beast Titan's Rock Barrage and Anti-Ship Rock Barrage. So if we're constantly committing our rival's stage and then focusing on using our check boosting abilities to play something like an Anti-Ship Rock Barrage or a Smiling Titan attacks or a Beast Titan attacks later in a string, because we're getting +2 to our checks. Maybe we've played an Instant Shining Flash to give it 1 less to its difficulty, and we've used on Yonkapon so that something's not counting towards progressive. We could throw something like this and make it that huge damage with 9 Titans from throughout the ages. We also have this defensive response. Response commit, lose 2 stamina. After an attack is played, it gets -4 damage, which is huge. I will also say, the Titan backups that you will see here are the only ones we can build in with Titan's Rock Barrage. We cannot build any on Yonkapon, Sean Gilmore, or Shikasta, because they are all unique. However, we can build in more 9 Titans from throughout the ages, so we can really put this card to work. We have Sean Gilmore, a 3/5, 2 mid-block, 4 stamina. Unique, ally, mage, and party. While this card is in our stage, our character is treated as a mage, which does not matter for us. But enhanced commit, our next check is +2. That kind of does matter. We have Titans Under Orders, a 3/6, 2 mid-block, 6 stamina, and Titan. Enhanced commit, this attack gets -3 damage. This backup loses 3 stamina. So this is just a very solid defensive piece. It's got that nice 6 check for us. And again, it's something we can build in with Beast Titan's Rock Barrage to continue our defensive stringing. We have Shikasta, a 3/5, 2 low block with a 5 stamina. Unique, ally, healer, and party. While it is in our stage, our character is treated as a healer. Again, that doesn't really matter. Enhanced commit, gain 2 health. We are all about gaining our health back with this character, either by sacrificing our backups or by committing them. So just allowing us to live a little bit longer. And then we have the Massive Abnormal Titan. A 2/5, 1 high block with 5 stamina and the Titan keyword. Enhanced commit, lose 1 stamina, mill 1. If the card milled this way is a non-attack card, we get to add it to our hand. So if it's an item box, if it's a Filled with Doubt, if it's a backup, or even if it's a foundation that we could really use, we get to add that card to our hand. And it is kind of tricky that we're only playing the 13 backups, but that's why it's good that Zeke Yeager, Warchief, doesn't need you to be controlling all of these backups. They can just be in your discard pile in order to transform. And then you can build your backups in with Beast Titan's Rock Barrage in order to then get your commit 1 backup, gain a health, and draw a card as needed. Onto our foundations, we have Brothers Reunited, a 3/5 with a 2 mid block. Response flip, after your attack deals damage, add 1 backup from your discard pile to your hand. There you go. We have Dramatic Exit, a 2/5 with a 2 high block and the unique keyword. Enhanced commit, this attack is +X or -X speed. X equals the number of backups in your stage +1. So if we have 3 backups in our stage, this is -4 or +4 speed. That's nothing to sneeze at. That makes things very easy to block or very hard to block. We have Outnumbered, a 1/5 with a 3 mid block. Enhanced Sacrifice, if we have 2 or more backups, we get to add any foundation in our discard pile to our hand. We can pick up a Brothers United to then pick up more backups. We can pick up Moment of Normalcy for a bit more protection. And some other things that we have here. So it's just we get rid of 1 foundation, but we get to pick up the best foundation for our next situation. Next we have See the Ocean, a 1/6 with a 3 mid block. Response at the start of the end phase, if no characters took damage this turn, gain 1 health. So if we have all 3 of these out at the same time, and our rival just perfectly blocks all of our stuff, or we just take a turn to build, we just gain 3 health at the end of the turn. If our rival gets a bad draw and is forced to just build, we gain 3 health. If we block all of their attacks perfectly, we gain 3 health. This can make it very hard to kill someone just for sitting on the field and someone playing good defense. We have Moment of Normalcy, a 2/5 with a 3 high block and the unique keyword. Enhance Commit, return this attack to its printed speed or damage. This works really well in tandem with See the Ocean, because again, at the start of the end phase, so if we're resetting our rival's speed so that we can block it, then we are just gaining health at the end of the turn. We have Marley's Warriors, a 2/5 with a 2 mid block. Warrior first form, commit and flip. Your checks to play attacks get +1 this turn, which helps with our idea of playing a high costed attack at the end of a string. We have Defend the City, a 2/6 with a 1 high block. Response Tenacious, flip. After your rival plays after you commit any number of cards due to your rival's effect, build the top card of your deck face down. A little bit of anti-stun or anti-committal tech to allow us to get even more foundations going into our turn. We have Loyalty to a Friend, a 2/5 with a 2 mid block, Breaker 1 and unique. Breaker 1 means if we block with this card, our rival's next check is going to get -1. It's probably one of my favorite abilities in the game. We also have 2 enhances here. Enhance Commit, this attack gets -1 damage for each backup in your stage. So if we're allowed to build a big stage of backups, 5, 6 backups, this is up to imagine we build them all. That's like well, we can't build them all because we have 2 Shans, 2 Shikasta, and 2 Nyakapan. So let's say we build the 10 backups. This is -10 damage. This card says our rival has to respect our backup game or they're never dealing damage to us. And it also has Deadlock, Enhance, Commit. This attack is +2 speed for each backup in your stage, which is, again, this card right here says that our rival has to respect our backup game. If they don't, we're just going to overwhelm them and they're never going to kill us. We have Fast Friendship, a 1/5 with a 3 high block. Enhance Flip, this attack gets -2 speed, but if you have more face down foundations than your rival, it gets -3 speed instead. Just really good piece of speed hate here. We have Keiko's Aid, a 2/5 with a 3 high block. Response Flip, after you block an attack, your rival's next attack gets +2 difficulty. Again, a really good way to try to slow your rival's turns down so that you can gain that health back with See the Ocean, or even just with Zeke Yeager, trying to mitigate as much damage as possible. We have End the Cycle, a 2/5 with a 2 low block. Enhance Commit, this attack gets -X speed. X equals the number of cards in all players' card pools combined. So if your rival's played 2 attacks and you've blocked twice, this can commit for -4 or -5 speed if your rival plays a 3rd attack. That stacks up a lot. We have the Dog, a 3/5 with a 2 low block and the ally keyword. Enhance once per turn. If you have gained health this turn, your next check to play a card gets +1. If it is your turn and your rival has 11 or more foundations, your check gets +4 instead. So your rival's never going to want to go into deadlock against you, because as long as you use either of your Zeke Yeager or Beast Titan abilities to gain health, this is just boosting your checks even further, which can get insane, especially, like I said, trying to play a 7 difficulty move later on in a turn. We have Long Range Support, a 2/5 with a 3 low block and the Titan keyword. Response, once per turn, after an attack deals damage to a character, draw 1 card and discard 1 card. So if your rival attacks your backup, this will not trigger, but if they deal damage to you or you do damage to their character, this will trigger and allow you to cycle draw. We have number 10 Pro Hero, a 0/6 with a 1 high block. No abilities, it's just great stats. We have Nejire-chan of the Big 3, a 1/5 with a 2 high block. Enhance, sacrifice a foundation. This attack gets +1 damage. If it is blocked, gain a health. So it allows us to keep ourselves out of deadlock if need be. It gives us a little bit of damage throughout the course of a turn. And it says, hey, if you block this, we're just going to get harder to kill on your turn. And finally, Syndicate Target, a 0/5 with a 0/6, excuse me, with a 0 low block. After we block with this card, we do lose 1 health, but that's probably better than losing however much health we would take if we didn't block it. And it's just one of the best low blocks in the game. So that is Zeke Yeager Warchief / Beast Titan Finale, and that brings us to a close on our Attack on Titan Apocalypse Day builds, Day 0 builds. So what do you guys think of Zeke, and what do you think of Attack on Titan Apocalypse as a whole? I'll be honest, I'm not that big of an Attack on Titan fan. Maybe because I haven't read it, maybe because I haven't watched it. But when this IP was announced, I was really excited for it to bring more people into the game. But as an IP, as a license, it didn't really do anything for me. But this set in particular has really ignited a lot of deck building synapses in my brain, and I've been very excited to kind of tinker and find out all these interesting like attack patterns and play lines, and it's really been fun. So hopefully you guys will get to see many more crazy deck lists from me, and maybe even some competitive ones. Who knows? I've been kind of slacking on the last week Wednesdays because I haven't been able to go to locals as much as I would like to. I've been very busy. I've been out of town. We've had a lot of like inclement weather, car troubles, the like. But I may take a bit of a break after doing all of these day zeros. So you may not hear from me for the next week or so, except for maybe a video here or there. But I'm really interested to get back into it, guys, and I hope you are interested in joining me. If you liked the video, please leave it a like, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. It really helps the channel a lot, and it boosts visibility for this game not only to new players, so they can learn and get better, but also to people who maybe haven't heard of our game before, and we can welcome them into the fold. So, until next time, take care, guys.